Okay, so today's deep dive, we are going to be talking about some next level AI.
Oh, yeah.
You sent over some research on an AI called MinMo,
Yeah.
and it's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah. You know what really is interesting about MinMo is it's not just like another voice assistant.
I
You know what I mean? It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's a multimodal large language model,
Okay.
which basically means it understands and generates human speech in a way it's almost human.
It's like
Really?
it's not just about commands anymore, right?
Exactly.
It's like
Like
it can understand like your emotions, it can understand
yeah.
the tone of your voice,
Tone, emotion.
even sounds happening around you.
Yeah.
That's
Context.
pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
Like a real-time conversation.
It's kind of like science fiction becoming reality in a way.
Right.
And to really grasp like
Yeah.
how it works, we need to talk about the two
Okay.
main approaches to building speech AI, which is native and aligned models.
Break that down for me.
So imagine you're teaching someone like a new language.
Okay.
Native models are like teaching a child, you know.
Okay.
They learn speech and text together from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But aligned models, they start with an AI that's already really good at text, and then they teach it
Okay.
to understand and generate speech.
So it's like taking someone who's a brilliant writer
Yeah.
and then teaching them to be
Exactly.
a charismatic speaker.
Exactly.
That's MinMo.
That's where MinMo comes in.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an aligned model,
Mm-hmm.
but it's doing things that other aligned models just haven't been able to do.
Okay.
One key difference is the huge amount of data that it was trained on.
Okay.
We're talking like 1.4 million hours of speech.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's a crazy amount of data.
Yeah. That's like giving it a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Tons of practice.
So what does that actually do?
It helps MinMo tackle a way wider
Okay.
range of tasks than most other models. Like what kind of stuff?
It's not just like basic stuff like speech recognition and translation.
Mm-hmm.
MinMo can do things like recognizing emotions in someone's voice.
Really?
It can even identify sounds happening in the environment.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's pretty wild.
So like if I'm talking to MinMo
Yeah.
and a dog barks in the background, it can tell that happened.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is that it understands that that might be relevant to our conversation.
Right.
Like it could change the context of what we're talking about.
Right.
Or it could even signal that we need to pause for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like the level of sophistication that we're dealing with.
So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But you mentioned before that aligned models sometimes struggle.
They do.
Like what's the issue there?
So basically, think about it.
Yeah.
You have this AI that's like really good at text.
Right.
Then you're kind of like retraining it
Yeah.
to work with speech. And sometimes during that process, they can lose some of the smarts that they had with text.
Like they're getting stage fright,
That's a great way to put it.
you know?
Yeah, like they're getting so focused on speaking
Right.
that they forget some of their writing skills.
Right.
But MinMo uses some really interesting techniques
Okay.
to like prevent that from happening.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's got like a balanced brain, so to speak.
Precisely.
So it can understand.
Yeah.
But then it also has to be able to respond
Right.
in a way that sounds natural.
Exactly. And that's what, I mean, that's where MinMo's achievements really start to shine.
All right, so let's talk about
Yeah.
the achievements. Like
Yeah.
what makes it stand out?
It's achieving state-of-the-art performance in like a whole bunch of tasks.
Like what?
We're talking like multilingual speech recognition,
All right.
translation. It even beats some of the top models out there.
Okay.
Like Whisper Large V3.
I'm impressed,
Yeah.
but there's more, right?
Oh, there's definitely more.
Okay.
One of the things that really gets me excited about MinMo is its emotional intelligence.
Real.
It can actually recognize emotions in someone's voice with incredible accuracy.
So it can tell if I'm like
Yeah.
being fake happy versus like really happy.
You know, let's just say
Wow.
it's getting really good at reading between the lines.
Okay, so it's not just about understanding the words,
Yeah.
but it's like the emotion behind them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's understanding the nuances,
This is how,
how
it's
we
like
speak.
you know what else I read?
Yeah.
There was something about voice control with MinMo.
Yeah, so MinMo isn't just responding to you. It can actually adjust
Really?
its own speaking style based on what you ask for.
Give me an example.
Like, imagine you're giving it instructions.
Yeah.
You could tell it to speak faster or slower,
Okay.
to sound sad or happy,
Okay.
even to mimic someone else's voice.
Whoa, so it's like a voice actor
Yeah.
built into an AI.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so that's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah. So imagine having a conversation with an AI
Okay.
where you can both speak and listen at the same time.
Oh,
You can interrupt each other just like you would in a normal conversation.
you're talking about full duplex conversation.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's like
The holy grail
yeah,
of voice interaction.
it is.
Right.
And MinMo can do it
Oh, wow.
with almost no delay.
Okay.
So it makes the conversation really fluid and natural.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm guessing even MinMo isn't perfect.
Of course, no technology is perfect.
Right.
The research does point out a couple of areas where it could improve.
Like what?
For instance, its speech generation is really impressive,
Yeah.
but it can still kind of trip up on less common words or phrases.
Okay.
There's always room for improvement when it comes to like pronunciation and, it can mimic voices.
Yeah.
But the researchers think that they could make that mimicry even more accurate and diverse.
Okay, so while it's a huge leap forward, there's still room to grow.
Absolutely.
That's what makes this feel so exciting.
That's what makes it so exciting.
It's always changing.
Always moving forward. There's always room to grow. And speaking of growth, the research mentions that MinMo could improve its ability to handle more diverse instructions.
So not just understanding the words themselves, but like
Yeah.
what you actually mean, even if you don't say it.
That's the idea. Right now, MinMo is mostly focused on speech and language tasks.
Okay.
But imagine a future where you could give it more open-ended instructions.
Like what?
Like, tell me a story in the style of Shakespeare.
Okay.
Or compose a song about what you see around you.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be incredible.
But wouldn't that need MinMo to understand stuff? Like,
yeah.
like human emotions and motivations?
Precisely. It's a massive challenge, but researchers are looking into ways to give MinMo a deeper understanding of the world around us.
That's what's so cool about AI, right?
Yeah.
It's this potential to kind of bridge the gap between human creativity and machine intelligence.
It really is. And the potential applications are just mind-blowing.
Right. Like what?
Like, imagine personalized tutors that can adjust their teaching style to how you learn best.
Okay.
Or virtual companions who can really understand your moods and offer support.
Yeah.
And, of course, even more powerful tools for people with disabilities.
It's almost like having a friend who can also tap into this vast ocean of information that we can't even comprehend.
Exactly. Augmenting our capabilities, not replacing them.
Right.
Which brings us to another really interesting point you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
If AI can understand like all the nuances of human speech, so what does that tell us about how we communicate as humans?
It's kind of scary.
It is kind of freaky, isn't it? Like MinMo is holding up this mirror to us and saying, hey, this is how you sound. Yeah. It makes you wonder how much information we're giving away without even knowing it.
Right. Like our tone of voice, our pauses, even our breathing.
Yeah.
MinMo could become this amazing tool for understanding human communication on a much deeper level.
Whoa. Imagine being able to analyze like a conversation.
Right.
And not just understand the words.
Yeah.
But the emotions behind them.
Exactly.
The power dynamics, the hidden messages.
Think about what that means for fields like psychology, sociology, even politics.
Yeah, it's like we're starting to crack this new code, this new language of human interaction.
Yeah.
And AI is becoming fluent in it.
Faster than we are.
Way faster than we are.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
But it does raise some important questions.
Like what?
If machines are getting this good at understanding us, we need to think about how we use that power responsibly.
It's like anything. It can be used for good or for bad.
Exactly.
It's our job to make sure it's used for good.
Absolutely. We need to make sure that these advancements make us more human, not less.
Right. So it feels like we're at this turning point.
And the choices that we're making now are going to shape the future of communication.
It's a future that we all have a part in creating.
Yeah.
And AI, like, MinMo is just the beginning.
Yeah, it really feels like we're at like the edge of something really big here.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, MinMo is like a really powerful example of how far we've come in developing AI that is truly intelligent, you know?
Right. And it's not just about
Yeah.
creating machines that can think.
Yeah.
It's about
Exactly.
machines that understand us.
Yeah. Machines that can communicate with us naturally, empathize with us, and even anticipate what we need.
And it's like the more we learn about how AI processes human speech,
Yeah.
the more we're learning about ourselves.
100%. It really forces us to examine our own communication patterns and uncover those subtle things that we might not even realize that we're sending out.
Right. It's like self-discovery.
Yeah.
Guided by AI.
It really is. And who knows what we'll find. Maybe we'll discover entirely new ways to express ourselves that we hadn't thought of before.
That's what I love about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about, finding answers. It's asking better questions.
And MinMo is definitely giving us a lot of new questions to think about.
Right. It's like pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Yeah. It really is.
So for our listener, who's been with us on this whole deep dive into MinMo, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the main message is that the future of AI is not about replacing humans.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about making us better.
It's about building those connections between our minds and machines.
And those connections are going to lead to, new discoveries, new forms of creativity, and maybe even a deeper understanding of ourselves.
And one thing's for sure, this is just the start.
Oh, this is just the beginning. The world of voice AI is evolving so rapidly.
It's exciting.
It's going to be an incredible ride.
Buckle up, everybody.
Yeah, buckle up and enjoy the journey. Who knows what we'll discover next?